Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Joe Barber, straight out of House of Cards Barbershop in San Antonio, Texas. I'm just putting this video together because I wanted to share with a couple of barbers out there and just people in general. Some of the things that I try to do is I try to engage with a lot of our youth. I try to engage with the community, and I try to do things to inspire people to also pursue anything that they want to do, anything that they feel that they can accomplish in their life, anything that they feel that they're going to have a passion for, and that's also going to make a difference in other people's lives. So just recently, I went to go share my story with some of the kids at a middle school, and it was Vale Middle School in San Antonio, Texas. Take time out of my day to go do that. I try to do a lot of career day events, because barbering is becoming such a popular career nowadays. Back in the day, it wasn't like that, but now barbering is something. So, a lot of people are looking to do that. So, I go and I just share my story, and I don't try to put too much out there. I don't try to do I don't try to make it seem like we just live this, glamorous lifestyle and whatnot. I just share my story and how I started. I started cutting hair when I was 10 years old. I picked up some clippers, and I would cut my friend's hair, my brother's hair. I started doing designs when I was 12. I grew up in the Alazan Apache courts. So, I couldn't go to the barbershop. I didn't have money. Back in the day, I think haircuts were like $5. I couldn't even afford that. So, when I share my story, it's like I grew up real poor, man, and I survived a lot of the gang stuff that was happening back in the day. A lot of my friends died. A lot of my friends went to prison, whether it was from gang violence or drugs. I've seen people get shot. I've been shot at, just by hanging out with people. They think that you're already affiliated because, your cousins or your friends are in the gang. Now, by guilty by association is what it was. And sometimes it wasn't even that. They wouldn't even know who you hang out with, but just because you're from the Alazans, people were already, you're a marked man. So that's how I grew up. And I really am grateful that not only barbering, but like basketball was something that kept me away from getting, submerged into that lifestyle. I did get into graffiti, but art really was another thing that saved me. Just drawing and working on all types of art. Painting, creating sculptures, whatever, going to, different art schools and whatnot, even with us just for the summer. But I did do a lot in my life, and I'm very grateful to be in the position I'm in now, to where I'm able to do what I do. I really don't pursue barbering the way I used to. I used to make videos about haircuts all the time, and, try to show people my day and how many haircuts I was doing, and I've gone through it, you know what I mean? But I don't ever want to lose myself in who I am just for the camera and for Instagram or Facebook, because people tend to look at you a certain way. And of course, what you allow them to see is what they're going to know. And some people try to promote this lavish lifestyle and celebrity barber, and I'm doing this and doing that. But behind the scenes, they're cutting hair for free, and, they're paying for a lot of the traveling. And some people are just getting taken advantage of, plain and simple. This industry it's a dirty game out here, just like anywhere. Some people are going to take advantage of you. Some people are going to use you. Some people are going to try to, use your name, your idea, even your ideas. People take your ideas. You can come up with something, and someone somewhere else is like, man, I'm going to do that because that's what's working. There's barbers out there that do that, and it is what it is, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that sometimes, but I personally don't want to get caught up in that. I don't need to be wearing Versace and Gucci and all that all the time, and I know I could afford it, but I'm not going to try to do that because that's not who I am. Like, if I want to, play that role and psych people out, I know I can. But what I'm trying to get at is I just really want people to be who they are. And my whole thing is giving back to the community. And I just wanted to share some of the letters. But I'm just sharing some of my story because some people may not know, there's plenty of videos on my channel that show where I was. I was cutting that razor sharp for a long time. Then I would do designs. I did portraits. I started doing portraits 2005, 2006. I did, Tony Parker first barber in the city to do any type of portraits. That's, and that's a fact. Got the photos and the images and all that, to back it up. But I was the first person to do, portraits. Now, I wasn't the first person in the nation because I don't know that, but I know that I was the first person to be featured on Yahoo's homepage, first person to be featured on ESPN doing, haircuts like that. Man, I got a lot of attention just on the news. Locally, I mean, I've been interviewed by people from Argentina. I've been interviewed by people from Baltimore. I've been interviewed, different type of companies. I've been approached by HBO to do, a reality show. I got approached to do 2 other reality shows. One was with Relativity Media, and then the other one was with another company. I forgot what it was, but it was in like, I got approached by someone else, and it didn't work out. But then I ended up making it on Cedric the Entertainer's with Barbershop Connect. They had Cedric's Barber Battle, and I was the first barber to win that. The first belt that was handed out was to me. So I've been a part of a lot of firsts, but some people don't know that, and I know, I'm old news, man. I'm not, one of the top barbers in the country anymore. I won Barber of the Year by Barbershop Connect in 2012. And I beat a lot of, talented barbers. I've won all over the country, barber battles, stuff like that. And I've worked with some great barbers, that were from outside of Texas. And, it's a lot of great things that I've accomplished. And I just throw those things out just to let other barbers know that, I've been on the ride. I've worked with some great people. I've worked for Wall. I've done work for Handis. I've done work for Oster. I've done work for Gibbs. I've done work for, Cool Spikes. I've done work for Hair Evolution. I've done work for a lot of, Vegan. I've done work for Ms. Regina Marble. I've done work with her. It's just, there's a lot of opportunities out there. There is, but you have to get paid. And sometimes you got to pay your dues. And yes, do a couple of things, scratch my back, I'll scratch your back type of deal. But it's a crazy game out there. That's why you have to, understand what you're doing and not waste time and energy. Now I just try to stay busy cutting my regular people, the people that pay my bills, trying to grow my barbershop, which is another, that's a whole different ball game, especially in the market here in San Antonio, because it's so saturated now. So many people want to be barbers, and so many people want to open up their own barbershop. Just within a mile radius, you'll find like 10 barbers, it's 10 barbershops. It's crazy. So those are the things that I, as a businessman, it's a whole different, you're in a different tax bracket, you're in a different, it's just a whole different ball game. So that's that, and I'm still learning that, and I'm not being mentored by any particular person teaching me like, hey, Joe, protect this money, do this, invest in that. So those are things that I'm all learning, man, and I got books that I'm, reading to help me, just to share with you. I got this book, What's Your One Word? That's something that helps me in learning how to be a better leader. Always Rich Dad Poor Dad is one book. And then I got a book about taxes over there, Lower Your Taxes. It's the 2019, is the 2020. There's a couple of different books that they have. But I'm reading those kind of books, man, and just trying to educate myself so I don't have time to be on the social media and YouTube and the way it was before, because I'm on a different level. Not to say that this is not important, because marketing is very, very important. And I do a lot of portraits, still do designs. I just don't have time to record it all the time and start from the bottom and work my way. And I have invested, I got my Canon camera, invested in lenses, invested in all types of stuff. It's just having the clear mind and having the dedication to do it. Also, the creativity is something that I feel like I'm sacrificing in order to become a better businessman. Is something that I feel like I've lost. But anyway, just excuse my ramble. I'm just trying to give y'all a background on what's going on in my life and how I feel and what happens when you want to become a businessman, and what when you want to achieve. You still got to balance family, you still got to balance health, still got to balance other hobbies. Like I was working on doing, I'll show y'all some of that. I was working on doing the little baby Yoda or the child or whatever. So I burn it with these are things that I heat up, and I burn them and carve it, whatever. And I start doing these things and then I stop because I get so overwhelmed with having to keep the shop clean, having to manage different people. People have different situations in their life, and some people have different work schedules, and then I gotta manage all that. And then there's days when we're busy and some people are not here, so I gotta it's a lot of work, and it's really just balancing all that out. So anyway, making time to go to this school is a priority to me. Giving back to my community is a priority to me. So I just want to read some of the. I just wanted to share some of the stuff that these kids wrote, and it's Dear Mr. Joe, thank you for coming to my school to explain how your job works, and that your pictures of the designs were really cool. They were very detailed. We appreciate you coming and taking time off just to come. Sincerely, Racy. So another one is, Dear Joe, thank you for coming to our career day. I like how you talk about all the cool stories and people you have cut in your barber career, and you gave me inspiration to follow my dream and get an education. Thank you again for spending your time with us this morning to teach us about your amazing career. Sincerely, Lauren or London, something like that. Dear Joe, thank you for coming to our career day. I enjoyed learning about how cool being a barber is and how awesome your fades are. I enjoyed looking at your designs, and the Kobe and Gianna one was really cool. I now know how fun and hardworking being a barber is. It takes years of dedication to be a barber like you. Thank you for spending your morning here at Vel and squeezing in your appointments Thursday. Yeah, because I had to go on a Friday, and all my Friday people I moved to Thursday, so it was kind of crazy on Thursday. But thank you, TheJoeBarber, for coming and talking to us. I was the one in your last class with the gray jacket with all the questions. I like all the stories that you told, including your own life story, how you grew up in the projects and how all the odds were against you, but somehow you got past it and became one of the greatest barbers in the nation instead of dead or in jail. Also, how you know and cut all these rappers and athletes' hair. You have inspired me to try cutting hair. I'm going to ask my dad if I can go to your shop. Thank you again for coming and talking to us, and hopefully in the future you can give me a fresh cut. Eric Robles. So yeah, he's talking about the rappers that I cut. I've cut Andy Mineo, Lecrae, two of the few that I've cut, and I just built relationships with them, and a couple of the basketball players, or some of the Spurs, and some of the people that I know that have played. I cut some of the national team that played for Mexico, the Mexico national team. I flew out to Mexico City and I cut them while they were making their run to make it to the Olympics, and unfortunately they lost to Argentina, so they didn't get to go to Olympics. But if they had went to the Olympics, I would have been there, so that's cool. So anyway, dear Mr. Joe Barajas, thank you for coming to Vel. You showed me how I have to hustle for my dreams. I plan to make haircutting one of my career plans. I love working on projects and seeing the results. I like your story on how you made it to the top. You are now one of my role models. Thank you for coming. Sincerely, Daniel Betts. So, and I have a few other ones here. I'll read one. I don't want to take up too much time, but dear Mr. Barajas, thank you for making time for us and being a presenter at Vel. I liked how you told us about how you grew up to become an amazing barber. Just the fact that you started cutting hair at the age of 10 was cool. Again, thank you for making time for us and cramming all your appointments to come to talk to us. So yeah, so I shared all that story. But at the end of the day, man, that's why I feel like being barbers, we're pillars in the community. Our barbershop should be that. People should be feeling safe that they can come here. No matter what their sexual orientation is, their wherever background they have. We gotta treat people with respect. And here you're safe, man. We're not gonna talk about religion to where it's bad, or politics, all that kind of stuff. We try to just keep it out of the shop, man, because here we talk about sports. We can argue about that. We can argue about teams, Cowboys, Spurs, whatever. All that stuff is cool, man. That's day-to-day stuff. But when it comes to voicing your opinion about stuff, I mean, here it's not somewhere where you're gonna come here and Republicans and Donald Trump and this person and man, like, look, man, we're all here trying to make a living, and we're all trying to just feel good and look good, and that's what we do here. So I try to keep it like that, but the kids, man, I try to have lollipops for them, and I try to, even every kid that I have in my chair, I try to make sure that they understand how important school is and education and applying yourself. It's not about being the smartest kid. It's about applying yourself. I tell the kids, man, I had kids at a young age. I lived a foolish life for a while. Just not caring, not really taking school serious, and not taking my education serious, because I never had someone to teach me that. Like, no one ever told me how important it was. And then later in life is when I straightened myself up, and then I said, you know what, man, I want to see how smart I can be. I want to see how good I can do these tests and my work and algebra and trig and whatever. I try to challenge myself when I was in high school, just because I wanted to see if I can do it. If anything in my life, people ask me if you can go back and change anything, what would you change? And that would be the first thing I would change, is if I were able to go back to middle school, high school, even as far as back as elementary, and apply myself, man. Like, really wanting to learn how things work, and like mastering whatever it was, English, math, science, mastering it. That it would have been something like great. I think I was able to get an offer, a scholarship to go to UT in Dallas, for basketball, and I didn't go because I had messed up my knee. And also, since I was having a baby at the time when I was graduating, my son was going to be born. He was born right after graduation. It was hard for me to just be like, oh, I'm going to get up and leave and go to school, even though my adopted parents were telling me, like, that's a sacrifice you're going to have to make. You're going to take care of you so you can take care of your kids in the future. So it was something that was offered to me, but I didn't take it. But yeah, when I talk to kids, I tell them, like, man, try to just apply yourself, challenge yourself to see if you can master math, English, whatever it is. Because if you can do that and you can prove that you have value, then you're going to be the one that schools are going to be giving scholarships to. And then you won't have to pay for school, and you won't be in debt when you come out of college. And if you are, it's very minimal. My spouse has a doctorate degree, and she had to pay for that. So that's a lot of money, man. And then you're in debt for a long time. And then by the time, some of these kids that I'm talking to now get to whatever age, God willing, they're gonna have to spend a lot more money for college than we did, or than I would have if I would have went. You know what I'm saying? Because it gets really expensive. So, anyways, man, I just want to inspire other barbers out there. It's not just about the hair cutting. It's not just about designs and enhancements. Yes, dude, that's great. Branding yourself, making money is great. I'm not gonna say that it's not, because we need to make a living. But at the same time, man, try to find time to reach the youth, and let's put some morals back into being a barber. Let's put some thought into presenting ourselves to be more professional, and being mentors to these young men. I think that's very, very vital. And I think God put us on this earth to fulfill our purpose. And just doing that, man, oh my goodness, that would mean so much to a lot of these kids, hearing it not only from their parents, and sometimes they don't even have parents to listen to. I hear stories about kids that live with with their grandma, or live with their uncle, or they're fostered kids, and they're not getting that kind of structure at home. So if a barber can do it, man, it'd be so much. It means so much, so hopefully, even if it's just 2, 3, I know I don't have the following that I used to. I'm not that guy like that, but hopefully this video will reach out to somebody, some barber. I don't care where you at, whether you're in Connecticut, whether you're in Albuquerque, whether you're in Miami, Florida, somewhere, DC area, somewhere. I really just, from my heart, man, I'm just telling you, like, find time to do that. Find time to mentor, whether it's 2 kids, 3 kids, whether you're able to put something together just to go reach out to kids. And it's not about wanting them to become barbers. It's about showing your story and sharing your story and letting them know, look, man, like, I put my mind to this, and look what I'm doing. Whether you started off as a regular barber and you own your own shop, or you opened up your own school, or whatever the case may be, even if you're not on that level yet, like, just knowing that you're able to do something that you love, and you wake up every day and you're not like, oh man, I gotta go cut hair. Like, nah, man, I'm gonna go cut hair, I'm gonna make this money, I'm gonna take care of my family, and I'm gonna put out a bunch of good energy into this universe and let people know, like, hey man, I'm here and I'm doing something with my life and I'm somebody, you know. And that's the thing. You don't want to look back and, you know, after 20 years, 15 years of your life and of working somewhere, and what do you have from that, you know? So I think that's one of the worst feelings to have, is that you look back and you're like, man, what do I have to show for the last 15 years of my life? And what am I going to do with the next 15 years of my life? So, yeah, sometimes we get caught up in that, you know, we get caught up in living that in the moment, and we don't plan ahead, and we end up in bad positions. And a lot of us just haven't been schooled enough. But I encourage you to research, you know, manage your time, manage your money, take care of your health, because health is wealth. And, you know, reach out to some OGs in your neighborhood, reach out to some OG barbers around the area, and just ask them, like, how do I do this? How can I prepare? How can I buy my own barbershop? How can I start my own barbershop? How can I, you know, how can I give back to the community? Because it doesn't matter how skilled you are. It does not matter how, you know, how much following you have. If you can't get $1 from each person that's following you, then what's the sense in having, you know, 1 million followers if you're not really, you know, making that kind of, you know, the investment, you know? I don't know, man. It really is a different ball game to me. That's what it is with it. But for me, I don't know. I find more value in building into the community and building into the people. So maybe it's just that. Maybe I'm just biased. I don't know. But I'm not afraid of growth. I'm not afraid, because you have to adapt, you know, to what's going on out there if you want to survive. And you got to post Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of, you know, so you can be relevant. Because if people don't see you online, they think you fell off the earth. But then when you come back and, you know, you can prove that, hey man, I've been putting in work, whether it's with, you know, different product, different hairstyles, or different skills, you can prove that. But hopefully, you know, some barber out there can see this video and learn something. And, you know, this is just me sharing. You know, I'm not here to boast or anything like that. I'm always going to stay humble no matter what, because God has taken away a lot from me in the past, and he's given me so much more. So I give all my credit to God no matter what, you know, because sometimes I'm the one that puts myself in positions, and I have to own that. And I own the good and the bad for what I've done with my life. And I'm not perfect. You know, I make mistakes, but I'm a man, and I'm going to own up to that. And I'm going to continue to grow. And I really want to, you know, leave a legacy behind, not just like, oh, Joe Barber's that portrait barber. He did real good portraits. Like, that's just a small percentage of who I am, you know, as a person, as a man, as a father, as a spouse, as a, you know, as a friend. You know, I'm a loyal person. You know, if something's wrong with you, I'll listen to you, I'll talk to you, and I'll give you guidance. If I can help you in any way, whether it's financially or whether it's, you know, with something else, I'm willing to do that. If I know that you're putting in the time to better yourself, that matters to me, you know. And not too many people value that anymore. And in this present time, man, it's crazy. We value the craziest things, man. But hopefully this makes a difference for someone. And if you watch the whole video, I appreciate you. And hopefully, I mean, I'll get back on it and I'll be out there. But I'm gonna be out to compete real soon at a barber battle. I'm coming out of retirement, you know, and just see if I can keep up with these young bucks and see if I can still get it done. I just wanted to get out of my comfort zone and do something different, and get out of the city and go compete somewhere else. So I'm looking forward to that. So y'all stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have a better video for you. Hopefully I'll get my GoPro out, dust it off, and show y'all what it feels like to compete, how I prepare for a competition, and whether I win or lose, you're still gonna get a, you know, a first perspective on how I compete. So first-hand perspective is what I'm gonna give you. Hopefully, I just got to get my GoPro and cleaned up and get it ready, charge up the battery and all that stuff. So thank you if you watched the whole video. Appreciate you. May God be with you, and I'll see y'all soon. Y'all stay blessed and y'all stay faded.